Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to the official 2021 FIA Manufacturer Season GT Sport. Tonight we are at Fuji International Speedway and I am in the Aston Martin DBR9. Interesting race tonight, so stick around and check out the action. Alright, so we finally made it into the lobby. This is a third slot lobby. I tried the first two and GT Sport was having none of it. Got it kicked. So I am door number 10 in this lobby. A few familiar faces, some A pluses in here, down to some A's. Should be for some good racing here because these are some pretty quick folks in the lobby. Heading out here on my qualifying lap. I wanted to get a good start to the lap, so I was taking it out wide there, trying to get a good run here on the straight, get it up to 168 before I drop the anchor there on turn number 1. Actually missed my apex a little bit, but so far not a terrible start to my lap. Would have liked to had a little more oomph there at the start of the lap where I kind of rounded off that corner, that last corner, to really try and get a run on the right-hander there exiting that last corner. So going through here, really had to feather the throttle. It was really a tough section in the DBR9. It has a really long wheelbase, at least compared to the Vantage, and it was just made for this technical section of the track difficult. Didn't have a really good turn in. The strength of the DBR9 being its top end speed. It's actually a pretty light car, so it has pretty good tire wear and has pretty decent fuel usage as well. So if you're in a race that needs good tire wear and some fuel saving, the DBR9 not a terrible choice. Unfortunately, does not have real good turn in. So in these little technical sections, I was losing a lot of pace to the folks that were in the more nimble cars, shall we say. So heading through the last corner here, I didn't feel too terrible about this lap. In fact, if I could get a mid 137 qualifying time, I was going to be pretty happy with it. So I do that and I get a 137.718. So that was good for P13 to start the race. All right, so as Opera Lady comes in here and serenades us to the start of this race, let's talk a little bit about tire strategy. Racing medium tires are required in this race, and there are a plethora of different strategies you can use. You can start on the mediums, you can start on the softs. You can do a 10-10 split, you can do a 8 mediums, 12 softs, you can do 9 mediums, 11 softs. You want to spend as much time as you can on those soft tires though, because that's how you're going to get your best lap time. So what strategy did I go with? Well, since I'm starting in P13, I'm starting on those medium tires. So I'm going to try and get 8 laps on those mediums. I'm going to push on them a little bit, not too hard. I'm going to push on those medium tires and then I'm going to jump off and I'm going to get on the softs and try and see if I can't get a good undercut here, because if I can get a couple laps of undercut, I might be able to steal 3 or 4 seconds and maybe a couple of positions. Need to finish in a P10 or better to keep that DR going up towards A+. So at the start, Gran Turismo Sport kind of put me there in a bad gear, so the Jaguar that was behind me by a straight race really made a nice run on me in the straight, but he did not dive bomb me in quarter 1. You know how relieved it is to have someone not send it on corner 1 there at the start of the race. So great job by Straight Race to just, get a good start to the race without anyone dying. So it was lovely. And then he caught me very quickly through the section of the track that I said I was really struggling with the DBR9. And he caught me almost obnoxiously fast. So I was pretty certain right here at this point he was on soft tires. And but the good part and the reason why I want to start on mediums back here in P13 is what is going on in front of me right now. So you've got a gaggle of folks, going after it, and you can see right there. I've done, 12 practice races. I've not yet ever got squirrely in that section of the track like that. Bad job there by Greddy. The Jaguar is able to make a pass. Now, he was going to make a pass eventually anyway, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I didn't sweat going down to P14 too much right there. As you can see, there was a few folks with some penalties around me. so they will drop off behind me, and the gentleman in the Huracan here will actually drop in behind me. Now the Huracan, as you can see, as he turns in on this corner, cuts the corner. I mean, he just overcut that just so slightly, and gets an extra 1 second penalty onto an earlier track cut penalty that it has. So 1.5 seconds I was able to pass him here. Now we got 4 wide heading into the corner 1, and I'm loving it. I am loving seeing all this race in action because I'm on the medium tires, and I'm thinking some of these guys are on softs, which means the more they race, the better it looks for me in the long run. So what tires are everyone on? Well, let's take a quick peek since we can do that. So P12 right there in front of me is on the soft, so that bodes well for me. 11's on the racing mediums, not as well. The McLaren's on the softs, which bodes well for me. And that gentleman's on the mediums. And again, softs on P7, mediums on P6, mediums on P5, softs on P4, 3, 2, and 1. So quite a plethora of tire selections here to start the race. I said if I start a P6 or back, I would definitely start on the medium tire, so that was probably a good choice there. As you can see, P5 was on mediums, 4, 3, 2, 1 were on the soft, so pretty good choice. I think it was 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyway, for me to start on the mediums. So I am in P12, and I am behind a Porsche, and I've got Thierry, I guess that's New York, behind me in the Porsche as well. I do not like racing Porsches around this track when I'm in the DBR9, because they tend to be really good in the twisty sections. They have a really good turn in, pretty good brakes, and they just give me fits in the middle section of the track. And especially if it's someone who's really aggressive, then they can cause me some problems by sending it in places that I'm really hoping that they wouldn't. And I would rather them kind of get in behind and let me use the speed of the DBR9 on the straights. But of course, they're in the Porsche, so the places they got to make their moves are actually in the curvy sections. And I go wide here and manage not to die of death. The DBR9 is pretty stable on the curb, so I was lucky not to die there. As Thierry falls off from behind me, guessing he had a 1/2 second penalty. So luckily I am able to scamper away from that Porsche, and he is not able to give me fits the rest of the race. Not that I want to see Thierry fall back in the pack, but it's for my own good. So as I come around the corner here, yellow flag, and there is a Mazda Vision R, whatever it is, spinning around in the middle of the track. So what happens? He was coming around here. You see the Subaru get into the back of the car that was in front of him, and as the Mazda goes around, he just gets in the marbles there, get a little bit of touch, and then he just goes around. So kind of a bad situation for him. That kind of stunk. He was just going to drive it around the outside, a situation that wasn't really any fault of his. And honestly, the Subaru was pulling back to let him pass. So just kind of a bad situation there. So anyway, fast forward on to lap number 7. I've got a feisty Dodge Viper on my tail on soft tires, running me down. So I'm like, you know what? I'll let this dude pass right here. I'm just going to give him some right-hand signals. You can see my little signals flashing right there. And he does not get the signal. So I break a fraction early to kind of let him, go by on the inside on those soft tires, because I want to pull me up to this group in front. He's going to use a slipstream here on the straight. But he gets a 1 second penalty as we watch right here. He did not get the signal. He hits me from behind. Honestly, not too terrible. It did cost me a little bit of time, but he gets a 1 second penalty. So I felt kind of bad about that by just trying to let the guy by so I could use a slipstream. I didn't give him a 1 second penalty. So, yeah, great job, Greddy. No one wants to be behind me. It's all terrible. All terrible. Behind me, in front of me, it's just not a good place to be. It's just stay away from Greddy. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So as we take the last corner, the Dodge Viper is going to serve his time here, and I'm going to get a good run on him. Now I have that Mazda that I passed on my tail, because after screwing around there in that tight right-hander with the Dodge Viper, I cost myself a little bit of time, probably about a second point two to the guys in front of me here. So that gave JMG a little bit of a run on me from behind. And I'm on lap 8. Now, if you remember my pit strategy, lap 8 is when I want to come off the track at the end of lap 8 and switch on to the soft tires. Going to use the tire wear advantage that the DBR9 has. to try and pick up some positions. And as you can see, I'm really struggling here on these medium tires. The medium tires were terrible. I mean, they were absolutely horrendous. It really didn't last at all. Yeah, I mean, they were not a good choice over the softs for me at all. I mean, I couldn't get any time out of them. As you can see, my times are okay there. I got some 39s in there, but I'm back into the 40s and even got a 41. Of course, that had to do with that mistake we made right here through this section. But in the first couple laps, you're in traffic, so you can't really do much about that. So, but now, already lap 8, they're just falling off horrendously. I can feel them. They don't feel good at all. And, I'm trying to have to brake a little bit early to kind of hit my apex like I want to. And even though I brake a little early, I go wide on this apex. Now, this is going to cost me. I'm not able to get on the gas and give the gap that I want so I can send it down the inside here. Now, I'm going to pit here. Now, what happens is the vision goes down the inside. I'm like, crap, I need to get in the pits. And right behind him is a Dodge Viper. And I'm like, no, guys, please. I've got to get in the pits. So I hit the right signal. And I think the Dodge Viper got the hint, and so he just stays in my slipstream for a second there. But he kind of gave me enough gap to get into the pit. So, again, straight racing me clean there, helping me get into the pits. So, appreciate that, sir. So, I come in. There's already a couple people in the pits, the Subaru and 2 others, and they're on soft tires, all of them. So, looks good for me there. I'm on the mediums. Another one comes in behind me, also on the medium tires. So, the 2 of us will come out and switch over onto the soft tires and those in front of me. Switching over on the mediums. Fill her up here to about 74%, just past the diamond. As you know, the diamond indicates if you continue to drive at your current pace or fuel usage, then you should have enough to finish the race. I go a little bit past the diamond. Come out here in P17. This is not terrible. This is actually working out kind of to how I wanted my game plan to work out. I didn't really honestly want any traffic when I came out on the soft. So since I started further back in the pack and started those mediums, I knew that I was going to come out probably in some very clean air on these softs, able to just put in some fast laps and hopefully get an undercut on some folks. So while I'm sitting in P17, this tire strategy should have me move up quite a bit up in the rankings when everyone starts pitting in the next couple of laps. So here between lap 9 and lap 12, we're going to get some pitting action from the various folks in the field. Hopefully they're battling. Hopefully they're getting penalties. Right there, I missed getting a penalty by, a fraction of a pixel, as I almost cut that too much, because you got to keep those left tires on that red and white curbing, even if it's just, like I said, a few pixels. I was really close to getting a half second there, which actually would have hurt me probably pretty bad. But I didn't, so hey, sweet. So what I need to do here is use the advantage of the DBR9, which is this straight right here. So try and get a good exit here, get on the gas, get in that Subaru slipstream 0.75 seconds. You can see there in the left-hand corner, I'm well within that 3/4 second mark. So now I'm letting the DBR9 do what it does. This dog is going to jump on your table and steal your biscuit as I run down the Subaru down the straight. Oh, it's so nice to have a car with some power on the straight. Love it. So he goes around the outside there, gets in the side of me a little bit, or I get in the side of him a little bit. Can't really tell which it was, but nothing major there. Subaru really good brakes and really good in the corners. Don't really blame him for giving that a shot. I cautiously go through that left-hander because I want to get on the gas early so that I can make sure I have a good run into this section, because I know the Subaru is going to be quicker than me here, and I don't want to cause myself any trouble at all. So he fades off behind me, and heading on to lap 10, we get a few people into the pits. So I'm going to get some pass there. Looks like about 4 people or so into the pits. So they're on various medium and soft tires. So I do pick up 4 spots, move all the way up to P number 11. So that is good. Now I said 4 spots. I believe I was in P17 before that. So actually it was quite a bit more. So more than what they were showing in there. Must have already been in the pits as well. A little later on here in lap 12, I was caught up to straight race. I had picked up another spot from another person pitting. So I'm in P10. Straight raced is in P9. So from P13 to P10, feeling good. I'm in a good neutral spot for not losing too much DR, maybe even possibly gaining a little bit of DR. Now I was door number 10 in the lobby, so it may have just come out to 0. Who knows? But in a good position with 8 laps to go, because I know straight raced is on the medium tires. Need to get a good exit out of here and get into the slipstream of the Jaguar and let the DBR9 do what it does, which is moved pretty quick down the straight. So checking on my brake balance there. Wasn't sure if I wanted to go to 0 or 1. I just chose 1, getting that slipstream, and I am eating up the Jaguar. I already even shifted into 6th gear, get up to 172, 173, get on the brakes. Jag brakes a little bit early, lets me slip underneath him. So again, straight race, racing that long game race, not causing himself any time, just trying to move forward like I was. Now remember, he started behind me. So he started, I believe it was P14. I started in P13. So we're moving up through the pack together. Just, not making mistakes, trying to just race clean. Another gentleman goes in the pit there in the Porsche on lap number 17 or end of 16. Could not figure out what his strategy was. It looks like maybe he just stayed on the medium tires. Maybe he was going to try a no-stopper. The only thing I can think is he was going to maybe try that no-stopper and just maybe ran out of juice on those tires. It was just too bad, so he had to come in for another set. That's it. That's all I can figure. So, but I'll take that spot. So now up to P8. Time to put the head down. Try and catch up to P7. So you see I get within 2 seconds of P7 here on lap number 19. There's a Ferrari off in the distance, off to the left. What happened to him? Well, yes, he's coming through here. He is behind the Aston Martin of PTY Didier, and just gets on that curbing a little bit, and a little bit of curb glitch there. Or maybe the tires are bad on the Ferrari, but man, he gets loose, comes back in, and I'm a little worried because he jumps in behind me here, and I'm thinking, oh, great. Now I got a Ferrari with worn tires behind me, and they're dirty too. So I was a little worried I might get hit from behind there. As you can see, I even broke a little bit late to try and make sure that didn't happen. But he did have dirty tires, but he did not brake late, did not kill the Geauxgreddy. So good job there by the Ferrari driver. On to lap number 20. Final lap, final chance to catch P6 in front of me. I ring it out. I have enough fuel left. Got 1.3 left in the tank, so I really ring out the engine, trying to get every 1/10 of a second that I can find and chase down this Mecca in front of me. The DBR just really no match for the McLaren, the MR cars or the Porsche through this technical section of the track, especially not in my hands. Maybe like TRL Lightning or basically any of the guys in the top split. But my hands, not so much. So doing my best there, though. Again, braking late on there. I'm starting to feel the tires wear. You can look at my lap times on the right-hand side. They're pretty consistent. Got some 138s through lap 14. And then started to fall into 139s, but still stayed very consistent. And all the way up here to lap number 19, you can see the tires in the bottom left-hand corner. They are extremely worn, but they're still holding on pretty good. Like I'm on lap 12 here of these soft tires, and to be quite honest, they feel much better than the mediums did on lap number 8. So no complaints on the soft tires in the DBR9. Not much of a fan of those mediums. So yours just so bad. Such a terrible tire. It just there's no redeeming qualities to it at all. So coming around the last corner, heading down the final straight. Not going to catch P6. Got fuel left. We are going to cross the line with a P number 7. So finished 7th after starting 13th with a big undercut. So the game plan worked. So there you are. P7 for Geauxgreddy in the lobby, and straight raced right behind me in the Jaguar. So good job by him. Picked up some decent points. About number 13 on my friends list here. Maybe when they start counting more rounds or whatever, maybe I'll move up some. But for now, sitting there in P13 with the friends, I'm probably round number 30 or so for Aston Martin. Hopefully I can move up. If not, no big deal. Enjoying the season. Enjoying trying out this DBR9. Hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back, check out some more videos. For myself, Geauxgreddy, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.